This is Twilight Sparkle, and you're watching the Brony Clubhouse.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Spencer.
And I'm Sessa, and you're watching the Brony Clubhouse.
Now, the moment we've all been waiting for has finally arrived. The season finale of My Little Pony is here. We'll be reviewing Magical Mystery Cure today.
But first, Cayci has a couple of special treats for you guys, starting with My Little Pony history.
Hi, I'm Cayci, and today we have part 1 of a 2-part My Little Pony history on princess ponies. Now, the My Little Pony brand has a long history of releasing princess ponies. So much so, in fact, that I personally find only 4 princess ponies in the G4 line to be a massive act of restraint on the part of Hasbro. It all started in 1986 with the release of the first 6 princess ponies. Included in that line was Princess Tiffany. She was a childhood favorite of mine. She's all white on white. She's rather pretty. Now, the princess ponies each came, in the United States anyway, with a little friend, a bush woolly they are called, and this is Friendly. He's waving hi. Also included in that line was Princess Sparkle. If you watched the television show The OC, you might recognize her. The next year, 1987, 6 more princess ponies were released, including this one, Princess Dawn. Now, they were slightly redesigned to have a little tinsel thing on their bangs, and instead of a bush woolly, they just had a little crown barrette. They weren't really my favorites, but that's okay. Continuing on, we have the Princess Brush and Grow ponies. This is Brilliant Bloom. Now, I'm about to show you how the mechanism for a brush and grow pony works. Step 1, grab the tail. Step 2, pull really hard. Step 3, pretend like the pony is in The Exorcist. Or you go really fast like this. It sort of sucks the tail back in, like so. She's just saying, no, don't do this to me. No. And then you can continue to take your aggression out on the princess pony. The next year, Hasbro realized that we don't have any baby princess ponies. So baby Princess Sparkle was released with her baby princess buggy. Because what else does a kid need? Now, by 1990, Hasbro had completely jumped the shark in that 2 ponies, just called princess ponies, this is Princess Royal Pink, were released. She has a castle as her cutie mark. And no, those are not spiders on her eyes. Those are actually supposed to be 3D eyelashes. No, they're not considered the most attractive of ponies, so if you hate her, I won't blame you. Well, this has been part 1 of My Little Pony history, Princess Ponies. Stay tuned for part 2.
Hey there, everyone. Thank you for joining us for our episode review of Magical Mystery Cure, the season finale episode for My Little Pony.
And in honor of Princess Twilight, everyone gets to be a princess. We have Princess Spencer, Princess Sessa, Princess Justin, Princess Cayci, Princess Tyler, and Princess Nick. You want to start us off, Princess?
I wish I had a crown, but oh my goodness, I think easily this was the best episode of the season. I think they did a really good job introducing a controversial story element that changes the canon of the entire series and the entire universe, and I think they just pulled it off really well, and it completely blew away my expectations. I'm pretty sure it blew away everybody else's. There were a lot of really interesting things that I saw in the episode as well, just like the cinematography was fantastic. They're getting used to this sort of new motion graphic style animation, like just the scene where Twilight is put in front of all of her memories of the past, and it was just the scene was shot so well, and there are so many more examples there. I can't bring them all to mind immediately, but just even that one scene, like how much story is in that one scene, how much it tells, just it really feels like you've been on a journey with these characters, and I think in general they just did such a good job with the story.
I love this episode a lot. There's so much I could talk about for it. Like, I just loved it, from the animation to the music to the story itself. I liked that every song kind of told its own story and it meshed with the story perfectly. Other small things, like, it was funny when Twilight was saying, there's no time to explain what's going wrong, because she's the one who kind of screwed everything up. Comments here and there, like Rarity waking up from her nightmare, like, I love that. And like all the animation for all the magic going on, like, that was cool. I loved that animation. And there's just, I could go on for days, but I really loved it. And yeah, I did. What do you think, Cayci?
Well, I thought that the pacing of this episode was lightning fast, but they had a lot of information and a lot of plot elements to get through. So it worked in this case. I also thought there were a lot of visual elements that were striking. When Twilight was in her bedroom, like, it seemed like darker, and that was visually striking to me. And just basically the cutie marks being on different ponies was visually jarring. It's like, oh my gosh, you take for granted how normal it looks when they're all switched around. They look completely out of place. I thought that also the performances of the voice actresses who sing was excellent, and I definitely appreciated all of the singing in this episode.
And that kind of leads into something that I was going to say, is mainly the song about Celestia. Or the Celestia sang, I should say.
Oh my
Oof.
goodness, I'm so
That was a good song. That was a really
that
good
was
song.
Fantastic.
wonderful.
That scene in general actually is that's a really, really important and really cool scene from the entire show. The one he was talking about, with how not only was it visually stunning to watch,
Right.
with all the 3D aspects going on and everything, with all the clips of all the episodes that you've seen, it kind of shows a journey that Twilight has been on since episode 1, and it shows where everyone came from and where they are now, and how they've grown. And it's kind of reminiscent onto the fandom itself, if you think about it. It's showing you all these episodes that we've seen. We followed from episode 1, and now you see where we are today in this episode, and see where the fandom has grown, and what the impact on the show that we've had. And it's cool to reflect, not only to see what Twilight's reflecting on, but to go back and reflect on what we've seen since episode 1. See where we started and where we are now. It's pretty interesting, actually.
It's so fitting that this episode almost made me cry a couple times.
Oh, my goodness.
Tear jerkers.
All of the feels.
Lots of feels.
There are
Because
feels in this
we
episode.
took that journey with them, when you really think about it, in a strange and kind of interesting way. It's just very powerful.
There is one really important thing I want to say, and that is, suck it, naysayers.
No!
It's
It's a great episode.
so, yeah, probably my favorite of the season. And honestly, if this had been the series finale, it would have been a beautiful way to end it. But we're getting a whole nother season, that I am so excited for. And
Season
I really
4,
hope
woo!
Yes!
I really hope that this will give us an opportunity to learn more about not just, Twilight, but alicorns in general and the princesses that we already have, and I am so looking forward to the future. Your turn.
Now, for those of you who don't mean, and you've seen my past reviews, you know that some of these episodes in the season may not have been my favorite, but I do believe this one might be the one that changes my mind, because I really enjoyed this episode on all accounts. As a fan, some of us here are fans of musicals, and I did really enjoy that structure, that musical structure from beginning to end. There was a total of 6-7 songs. Oh my goodness, that's amazing. The songs, the only thing I didn't like about the songs is that they were short. I wanted them to be longer, but that's not a bad thing. The songs were really well done. The animation just they seems like they really just bumped it up just a little, didn't it? The quality, just because they're playing around with the different cutie marks and different expressions. It was amazing to watch how it changed, and everyone's been talking about Twilight Sparkle's journey, and you do feel it. You do feel it when you're watching it. It's like, yeah, it's not just Twilight Sparkle's changing, you know, it changes for us because we're changing along with them, you know, and it felt so special. Funny enough, my favorite song, I don't know what the title is, but it's like the sad, when it's raining and you're seeing them all just kind of down. The piano is just, I don't know, I'm a sucker for piano. And I loved it ever so much. And kind of what she said, guys, I believe in M.A. Larson. And he pulled through. He pulled through for us.
He
Believe
delivered.
in MA.
And big props to Daniel Ingram, too, who wrote a lot of the music. He deserves his credit because that man, he came and he delivered. And I was not disappointed. Some of you guys are going to hate me, but my only gripe, this is actually kind of different. It has nothing to do with the episode itself, but my only gripe, if you follow the Hub on Facebook, they kind of ruined any and all surprises. They had a lot of pictures. They had a video up of like the song, I think is what it was. The Hub just kind of ruined some of the surprising elements that were in it. I still enjoyed it. It just felt like, but they ruined it in the.
You didn't have to watch them. I did not watch any spoilers.
It was still hard to avoid.
I follow them on the Hub. It's kind of hard. And so that was just my only, but I went into it going, look, this is a new thing. Let's just watch it and see what happens. And I liked it. I loved it. I'm sad that the season is over and we have a few months without new pony episodes, but we're going to stay strong and we're just going to hang tight until season 4 comes out.
It is time, guys.
No, you know what? The strength of this episode just makes it the wait that much harder. It was
really
so
does.
good.
Yeah. It really
And now we're just like, what's gonna happen next? This is like, in a way, it's like a finale, but it's a huge cliffhanger, you know? Like, so many new story elements are gonna be introduced, and it's gonna change the dynamic of everything that we've seen. It's incredible, and I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see what they do with the universe, the lore, all of this crazy stuff. I can't wait.
Me either.
This is gonna be a very, very long
I think
couple of
this
months.
episode gets 2 thumbs up across the board.
You know what? Big, huge thank you to the amazing cast and crew behind the past 3 seasons of My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic. Thank you so much, and we are looking forward to season 4. We'd love to hear what you guys think. Drop a comment.
See you guys next time.
Hi, I'm Cayci, and welcome to the Brony Clubhouse. Today, I'm going to be baking with some pony cookie cutters that I bought from the Etsy shop Warp Zone. Now, they have a whole lot of pony and sci-fi, some general video game and geek-themed cookie cutters on that shop, so I highly suggest you check it out. The URL will be in the description below. I bought the main 6, plus Derpy for good measure. And here we have Rainbow Dash, Applejack, Twilight Sparkle, Fluttershy, Pinkie Pie, Rarity, and of course Derpy. And I do expect a lot of these cookies to end up broken. Now it's really interesting in that these were made with a 3D printer, so you can see all the ridges and the layers of the material. And I'm gonna have to experiment a little bit with rolling out the thickness of the dough, because the dough is gonna have to reach into this level of detail. There's several different depths, so I guess we'll see how it goes. Time to roll out some dough. So I'm starting off with the Twilight Sparkle cookie cutter here, and I have rolled out some of the sugar cookie dough, and I'm experimenting with different thicknesses in the dough, and I find that when I rolled it relatively thin, like over in this area, that the 3D detail in her eyes and I don't know, I guess you can't even see her tail at all over here. So that was definitely too thin. It was thicker here in the middle, and here, I don't know if you can zoom in and see the level of detail, but you can see her eye and you can see her leg detail. So this is relatively thick dough. Let's see, it's about, here, let me pull some for you. relatively thick. So at least that level of thickness so that you can see the detail on the cookie. So now I've rolled it really thick just to see what would happen, and you might want to put flour or something on the cookie cutters, because in this case, while you can see the level of detail, the dough got stuck in Twilight's head. So more experimentation is definitely needed. Get the dough out of there now. Okay, so now I have used each of the 7 cookie cutters on the dough, and I have taken out the extra dough on the entire outside edge. And this part takes kind of a careful hand, I'm finding. It's actually pretty difficult. This is not going to go quickly. So I've got myself a spatula here, and I'm trying to get it underneath. In this case, it's derpy. So, you know, if she gets messed up, it's okay, right? If you pull at the dough at all, then clearly the pony's gonna get mangled and look like she's in a funhouse mirror. So I suppose you may just have to be okay with that. Good luck to you if you ever decide to do this. So now we have got 1 each of all 7 of the cookies here on the cookie sheet. Let's pop them in the oven and see what happens. So the first batch of the cookies has now cooled, and with much difficulty we figured out which was which. I gotta say that the store-bought sugar cookie dough rose quite a bit, and the outline on the ponies was almost completely lost. You can kind of see Fluttershy, although she looks marshmallowy. And you can tell that this is Applejack because it's the giant one, but I mean, being able to tell which of these is Derpy versus Rainbow Dash is extremely difficult. And then one of these is Pinkie Pie and one of these is Rarity. They look sort of just like blobs now. You might want to Google sugar cookie dough recipes that don't rise quite so much, and then you'll just have to make it from scratch. At this point, I think I'm just gonna hope that they taste good. Sorry, Applejack.
Thank you again so much, guys, for joining us today. We really hope you enjoyed today's episode.
If you're new to the Clubhouse, make sure to follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and subscribe to us on YouTube, where you can see our other videos, including our exclusive interview with John Delancey and Ashley Ball's band, Hey Ocean.
Now, for you gamers out there, we do have a gaming live stream on Twitch TV every Tuesday and Thursday. So be sure to check us out on Twitch TV and come on for some gaming. Also, next weekend on February 22nd through the 24th, the Clubhouse will be at Las Vegas' Unicon. So we hope to see you there. We hope to see as many of you guys as possible. Come by and say hi.
Vegas, woo!
This is the Brony Clubhouse. We'll see you guys next time.